This video is about how to make a Tetra-Pack lantern. All the materials should be readily available in your home so that you can work on your lantern with your family in preparation for winter solstice. The tools that we're going to use today are a Tetra-Pack, a brown paper bag, candles, glue, and a brush and some water, a piece of wire, scissors, some pins, nails, and a one-hole punch. We can make it so that it sits on the table, or we can make it so that you carry it on a stick outside in a procession. The first thing you need to do is, there's these two flaps here on the side, and I'm going to flatten this so that I can cut it more easily. I don't want the top on, so I'm cutting down to the fold line there. And on this side, I'm cutting down to the fold line here. And then I can go inside and cut again along the fold line of the top. Now, this is really thick, so I'm going to cut these parts off. And just make a hole there. And another one over here. If you don't have a one-hole punch, you can just poke through with scissors. You can use it as is so that you would see these words on it, or you can cover it with a brown paper bag. Paint it completely with glue. And then press it on. You want it to stay on there. Make sure that it's very flat because we're going to be poking holes through it. Have to leave it for a few hours. Or you can use a hairdryer and let it dry. What we want to do is cover it with images of nature. So I found a bunch of black and white line drawings on the internet. Make sure they're very graphic. It's a black and white line drawing. If there's a lot of shading in it, you can ignore that, but it's easier to just trace the black and white lines that are there. And you want it to be the right size to fit on here. Now, when you're poking your holes, this thing is going to collapse in and it's going to be very frustrating. So before I start pinning my images on and poking them, I'm going to take some newspaper, crumple it up, and stuff it inside here. So now that it's all stuffed with newspaper, I am going to decide on some images. Just cut out around the image. Your candle is going to be sitting fairly low down, so keep your images fairly low down. The ones that are higher up will also be seen, but these will be the brightest ones. Okay, so now I'm ready to poke the holes. I'm going to trace the outlines of the pictures with my pokey tools, but you can just use a nail and push pins. I've poked holes in all of the images, and now I'm going to take them all off. I can look at the places that I poked and I see, oh, I missed quite a few spots. So I'm just going to add some more holes. If you're going to go for a walk in your neighborhood, use a stick candle. The way we make that stand up in the bottom, tinfoil. I'm going to wrap it into a loose donut. Think of a French cruller filled with air, not a cake donut, which is very dense. I want it to press against the sides here, so I'm leaving it lots of space so the sides of the Tetra-Pack will hold it firmly in place. And you just wiggle it down inside. The handle, piece of wire. You've made your little holes earlier, so just stick it through there like that and fold it up. Fold them down so that it doesn't poke you. I like to do this little detail, which is pinching the top together and making a little spin with it. So now we've got a little loop. You've already gone out into nature and found yourself a nice little stick. And the reason you want it on a stick, of course, is so that when you're walking outside, you can hold it up high and everyone can see what you've done. There's also the very good reason of if you're holding this with your hand, the heat from the candle might hurt your fingers. So we've finished our lantern. This is obviously one that I've covered with brown paper. On solstice night, I hope you join us on our live stream. We're going to have a ceremonial lighting together of all of our lanterns. And then those of you who've made a lantern to take out into the night, to light the longest, darkest night, can put this on your stick and just wish people a happy solstice.